everyone, this tarot reading is focusing on what happens when you trust yourself. So as I kind of like look at the cards, I actually feel this reading is really showing the version of yourself that emerges when you stop doubting yourself. I don't feel like this is necessarily, a reading about, all of a sudden you just become magically someone new. I feel like it's about remembering who you are underneath that fear and overthinking and uncertainty. I'm actually really grateful this vision card is here because it says, clarify your vision for the future. It guides goals and inspires meaningful actions. I feel everything begins here. Before anything can change externally, you first need clarity internally, my darling. So, what do you truly want? Where do you want to go? What kind of life are you trying to create? The vision card is here to remind you that trusting yourself starts with getting honest about your desires. When your visions become clearer, your decisions become clearer too. And I feel like you stop second guessing every step because you know what you're moving towards. Yeah, you know what it is that you want. Now, the Queen of Swords, when you trust yourself, I feel you become clear-minded and very decisive. You know exactly what you want, where you want to go. Yeah. The Queen of Swords, she knows her truth. She understands her priorities. She sets very healthy boundaries, and this is the energy of where, you make decisions based on wisdom rather than fear. So I'm going to say she, because it's Queen of Swords, she doesn't allow outside opinions to distract her from what she knows is right for her. Okay, so trusting yourself means listening to your inner voice and honouring your experiences, even when others don't fully understand, your path. You kind of stop asking questions like, what should I do? And you start asking questions like, what feels true for me? Where do I want to go? What do I want to become? Stuff like that. Now, with the King of Swords, I feel like once you have, not the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, sorry. Once you have clarity, that's when momentum follows. The Knight of Swords brings action, courage, and that forward movement. So this card, I really feel is like suggesting that trusting actually yourself helps you stop overthinking and start doing. You become like, there's this bravery to you. You become willing to have difficult conversations, make important decisions, and pursue your goals with confidence. There is definitely this strong energy here of just charging ahead and facing challenges directly instead of avoiding them. There's honestly is bravery. So self-trust actually really creates momentum for you. The Nine of Wands is interesting because, bless you, trusting yourself doesn't necessarily mean the journey suddenly becomes easy. Yeah, it would be lovely if it did, but yeah, that's just life is life. So the Nine of Wands acknowledges that you've been through difficult experiences. So you may feel tired, you may feel cautious, rejected, or overprotective of your energy, okay? But this card also shows resilience. You now know more than you did before, okay? You have learned from your past challenges, and those experiences, my darling, have actually prepared you for this moment. You'll still have moments of doubt, unfortunately, and you'll still feel tired, but the difference is that you won't give up when those feelings appear. Instead of thinking, I can't fucking do this, you'll remind yourself, actually, I fucking can. I've handled difficult things before, and I can handle this shit too. That's what you'll be saying to yourself. That's how you'll be approaching it. So trusting yourself doesn't remove the obstacles. It actually reminds you that you are capable of overcoming them. Okay. Now, the Chariot is where I really feel like self-trust. The self-trust leads you. The Chariot is a card of like determination, confidence, and victory through focused action. So when you start trusting yourself, you take control of the direction instead of allowing fear or doubt or people's expectations to drive your life. You stop waiting for permission. You stop looking outside yourself for all the answers, and you commit to your path and move forward with purpose. Okay, so the Chariot doesn't, again, it's not promising a smooth journey because I see a battle really. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a smooth journey, but it does suggest success through focus, discipline, and self-belief. So notice as well the progression of this reading. First you gain the clarity and about what it is that you want, then you take the action, and then you draw on all your strength you've built through these past challenges, and finally you move confidently in the direction that you choose, my darling. And as well, the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords, the arm is really standing out to me. And I feel like that's actually suggesting that you are protected by your wisdom, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned along the way. You do not need to know every detail, before you begin. But you do, you only need to really trust that actually you are capable of navigating whatever arises. Trusting yourself doesn't change who you are. It actually reveals who you've been all along. Okay. You really, Madeline, you are capable of getting where you want to go because you trust yourself to navigate that journey. So if you are waiting for a sign, I would say this is it. Trust your vision, trust your wisdom, and trust your ability to handle whatever comes next, and keep moving forward, because you, my darling, you've got this. You really have. Have a good day. Bye.